what is really stopping you from dreaming and from really going after those big things that flash in your mind from time to time. So the reason that you are sometimes feeling a bit crazy or thinking, can I really have that? Do I really want this? Like, you know, deep down that these things are coming, those flashes are coming in your mind, but they really scare you. You start to really question, is it really for me? And the reason is because we think that these dreams are just random fantasies, random ideas, some things that we are thinking. But I have taken on a belief system which has absolutely allowed me to dream as big, which dazzles my imagination, staggers my expectations, and really allow me to go there. And that belief system is that whatever I'm dreaming, it's already done. So it's not something I want, or it's not a far-fetched thing that I desire, but I don't know if it's going to happen or not. It's something that is already done in a dimension, and I am just becoming aware of it because it's meant for me. So it's not something that I'm coming up with myself. It's my in-spirit action. It's my inspired dream. It's God or universe telling me that this is meant for you. And the only reason I get to see it, I get to fall in love with it, is the fact that I am meant for that. And it's already happening in a dimension, and I am just becoming aware of what is already happening. And when I operate from this place, I take on every single dream, every single desire as inevitable because it's meant to happen. It's my destiny. It's who I am. It's supposed to be for me. And from that place, I take it with open arms. So what I have done is, in order to really embody and feel and really fall in love and create this burning desire for my dreams, I use this activation plan, which I use it all the time. And the way I do it is I use my outside world to activate my dreams even more. So not only I use within me where these inspired ideas and dreams and visions are coming from, but I also use my physical reality to fuel them. And the way I do that is I use everything in the outside to connect with where I'm going. So I reframe that and I connect with where I'm going. So for instance, I have got this playlist, and this playlist is the preview of my upcoming life. So the house that I'm manifesting, there is a song which is all about that house. When I listen to that song, it takes me in that house. I live there, I wake up there, I celebrate birthdays there, I spend a lot of time with the kids, with my partner, on the dining table, or having fun, or parties, or activities. And to the point that actually when I go and drive in that area where I'm manifesting that house, when I go there, when I see that area, and I even know the land where I'm manifesting that house, when I see that, I'm not coming from the place of this is what I would love and I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I'm coming from the place of this is where I live. Right? So my emotional connection with that place is as if I've already lived there. So, when you go to your grandma's house, right? And you say, and imagine your grandma is, doesn't live there anymore, or there's a place where you had a lot of memories or any of that, and you say, I remember the time when I used to live there. I remember I had these memories. So I build that emotional connection that I live there. This is my reality. This is where everything happened. So all the dreams and desires and flashbacks that I'm getting are not something I just merely desire. They are something that I've already lived. They are something that are already my reality. So the emotional connection that I build with that house is that it's already done. Okay. And the same thing I do with the amount of money. The same thing I do with the business that I'm manifesting. The same thing I do with the holiday. So there is a song in my playlist for everything. And what I do is I use that song to fuel the imagination and really go and live there. Now, this key point is literally the answer of the time it takes for your manifestation or for your vision to show up. And that thing is, the time that it takes is actually the time that it requires you to become a vibrational match. Now, this concept of vibrational match is basically when you start operating on that frequency, you start to feel like that person who already does that. Now, saying that and being that is miles away. Like, a lot of people can say that, but really being that person means that you have to, in your consciousness, normalize that thing. You have to make it your normal state, your dominant state. And the way we make it our dominant state, which in another term we say believing, which another time, like Bob Proctor used to explain, you fuse with it, you become one with it, is by constantly fueling your imagination with it and focusing on it, and constantly living there, going there, living there, normalizing it. So if your manifestations are taking time, if you're waiting, you are not waiting, they're waiting for you to become the vibrational match. If they're taking long, that means that you haven't made that thing as your normalized thing. That's your normal life. That's how things are. So for instance, if you're manifesting a house and you say, oh my God, I would love to live in that big house. This is so big. It'll be so good. I'll be so excited. I love that. But deep down, you're like, yeah, it's a big house. It's going to be, it's going to be a big jump for me. And it's going to be really exciting, but I'm really looking forward to it. But I really wanted that to happen. But you don't see yourself as somebody who lives there already. So you don't think that's normal. If it's not normal for you, if it's big, if it's a big dream, if it's something you think, oh, it's going to take long because it's a big dream, it will happen eventually, then it's not normal for you now. You're not a vibrational match. So the way to become a vibrational match is to rehearse that feeling and that thing in your mind over a period of time where it seems like normal. It seems like, yeah, that's what it is. No, it's not a big deal anymore. It's who I am. So the difference when your manifestation shows up is when actually it happens, you're like, oh, that's not even a big deal. Like, I've been living there before that. Like, I'm not even more happy or excited anymore because I have already been living there. So mentally, you're already there. And in order to do that, you can really use your external environment instead of taking you off the frequency to actually bring you on the frequency. That means you can use a perfume that reminds you of that thing that you're manifesting. You can use your the way you dress, the coats that you wear, the scarves that you wear, the hats that you wear, remind you. Like, I have started to dress different to remind myself who I am. And I'm not dressing from my current place. I'm dressing from who I'm becoming. I'm not wearing my hats because if I would be that person in my current, I wouldn't even be wearing the hats, because the current version of me, the old version of me now, because it's not even current, the fact that I have normalized it so much that it's not current, the old version of me wouldn't even wear those hats, would think it's too much. But that new version of me is like, this is fun, this is normal, this is cool, right? I have changed the kind of coats that I wear, right? And it has taken me so long to find those kind of coats that bring that feeling in me. So the key is not that you go and splash out on a lot of things. The key is you find the things that actually activate the same feeling in you as if you're already that person. You start to become that person more. You talk confidently like that person. You start to have more conviction and believe in you. When you are taking any action towards your goal, you act from the energy of that thing. And the more you use your physical reality, your physical circumstances, the outside of you to actually activate that feeling, the more you will rehearse becoming that person, and the more you will become that person. And it's not you're becoming somebody else. When you will fully become that person, you'll realize, I'm becoming more of me. This is who I am. This is who I've always been. So I remember once I was making coffee and I was thinking about all of that, and I said, I feel me. I feel so me. Like, this is me. This is my truest version. How did I forget? So the more you do this work, the more you realize this whole art of visioning is about becoming who you really are, and the freedom that we desire and the life that we desire is really about being us. Okay? So when we start to use everything outside of us to also bring that feeling, then from the moment you get up to the moment you go to sleep, you are already living in that vibration. Okay, so let's say you listen to your playlist, or let's say you're going for a walk and you're bringing those scenes, like you're seeing yourself on the stage and you're seeing that you're standing on the stage and you're looking at the audience. Now, if you haven't mentally rehearsed that, then standing on the stage and facing thousands and thousands of audience is quite scary for some people. But if you have mentally rehearsed that, that means you are a vibrational match. It's not scary anymore because your subconscious mind didn't know the difference between real or imagine. So for your subconscious, it has been done. So the things that have been done in your mind, oftentimes, and that have become normal for you now because they have been done in your mind, you are a match for. And that's what you attract in your life. So if you want to have a lot of clients, right? But a part of you is like, if I have a lot of clients, I won't be able to survive. I will have to help so many people. What if I can't handle that? What if they don't like me? But if you take that image in your mind and mentally rehearse coaching a lot of clients or helping a lot of people, or whatever your vision is, I'm just giving you an example, And the more you normalize that, in the beginning it feels a bit wobbly and what is that, but the moment you normalize that, you become a match for that. So the power that we have been given is that we can take any image and we can quantum leap to that image, and we can vision that in our mind. We can make it normal, and then we can also reframe the way we feel about things in the outside and use them to keep activating that vision. So let's say that you wear your sunglasses, right? But you want to wear very cool vibey sunglasses which makes you feel like that person. Maybe you wear certain kind of clothes, but you think that version of you would absolutely wear that. You start wearing that. Maybe you talk a bit differently, but you want to talk more confidently because you know that version of you would do that. You start to do that. Maybe that version of you is more calm and have more conviction. And the way they approach things, they always have this belief that everything is going to be okay. So you start rehearsing that. So the key that I teach my clients is that you cannot just decide that I'm going to do that tomorrow and just do it, because your mind hasn't been wired to that. Your subconscious hasn't been wired. So what you do is you give yourself 1 week to really visualize and imagine being that way. If that's a skill, if that's a habit or certain kind of things, you visualize for 1 week, and from second week you start taking aligned action. So the fact that you visualize and change the wiring, because anytime you're visualizing from that place, you are actually breaking the old connections which have been built from past thinking, and you're building the new connection, because feeling is the most powerful instigator to build a new neural pathway. So when you build that, then it's easier for you to take action, and then it's permanent because you have been rewired, you have been reprogrammed, your program has been updated, and this program controls you 98% anyway. So when you do that, then your vibrational match start to change. So as you get more confident, the vibrational match changes. As you are starting to feel more magnetic and you have this powerful aura and vibe, and when you get in the room, you know you're enough, you don't need external validation, your vibrational match changes. So the key here in all of that is using our mind to become a match for better things by rehearsing them in our imagination, because in your imagination there is no limit. You can go anywhere you want. There is no limit in your imagination, right? So this is how you tap into that and you start to become a match. And in all of that thing, there is one point which is very, very important, and I see this a lot of people getting it wrong. They are so worried about living in the end or feeling the feeling, that they forget that they have to process their rough emotions. They have to process the contrast. So anytime when you're not feeling as good, or when you're not feeling as inspired, or you're feeling a bit down, process it. Don't try to wrestle control with yourself to feel the feeling. Okay? Because when you process that thing, when you really sit down and feel it until there is nothing to be felt, you will again be able to quickly go on the higher vibe, or the higher, better feeling thought, or the higher, vision, and you can mentally rehearse it. But if you are saying that I can't think any negative, then that negative thing will get stored in your body, and anytime when you do something that's similar to that, it will stop you. It will literally terrify you. So the key is to take care of yourself when you're not feeling as good. Process that thing. Be there for yourself like a child. Like when a child is upset, you don't just tell them, oh, be happy, you don't need to cry. You be there, you let them cry, you hug them, you listen to them. So process your emotions and really be there for yourself. And when you are okay, then you can go back in the high vibration. Because if you are not doing that, and you are forcing yourself to feel good, you will feel even worse. And if you keep judging yourself and saying, what is wrong with me? Why I'm always like that? I'm such a negative person. I'm procrastinating. I'm doing this. You are actually using law of attraction against you, because now you're tuning into the bad vibration. But if you are processing those things, you are just letting yourself feel it. You're not attracting anything bad. You're just allowing yourself to feel something. So in order to avoid that feeling, what we do is we turn on a huge law of attraction against us. But what we instead want to do is we want to feel what we need to feel and go back in the higher vibration. So don't compound the negative thoughts by judging yourself. Allow them to flow, allow them to feel, and really be with yourself, and then come back on your vision. But the more you be your vision today, like Neville Goddard says, be the vision now. And that's what we are taught in every single manifestation book. That's when I realized that instead of just reading all these books, why don't I just start to be the vision? Right? So the more you be the vision, the more you be it now, the more you're going to attract it faster, because it's already here. You're not waiting. It's already here. It's waiting for you to become a match.